Hey guys, Mr. Drake here. I figured I'd make another video going over the questions for FDR's For Freedom speech. That's what we would normally do in class, so I'm going to make a video. I'll post it up on Monday for you guys to check out. But we'll go through it real quick. I'm not going to read it to you. I'm expecting that you have already read it. So we'll look first at number one. What type of document is this? How is this originally given? Who is the author? And we can see right down here in our source, it says President Franklin D. Roosevelt gave this speech. So over here, we can type in FDR gave this speech to Congress. We'll say that. So we know who he's talking to. We know who it is. We know who he's talking to. Four freedoms mentioned in the speech are freedom of speech. The second one is the freedom of every person, freedom of religion. And now some of you guys might have noticed where this is coming from. What does this sound like? This sort of starts to sound like the Bill of Rights, right? His third one is freedom from want, which essentially means to have the things that you need to survive. He's talking about money, being able to have peace, being able to buy the things you need, things like that. His fourth one is the freedom from fear, which means you shouldn't be afraid that a country is going to come in and invade you. The context for this speech is that Hitler has taken over much of Europe and turned it into a fascist country. So he's saying the freedom from fear. You shouldn't be afraid that someone's going to come in, another country's going to come in and invade you. And so, my third question, this is the big question. What was the purpose and the main message of this document? Well, at this point, remember, we know that the United States, they're trying to be isolationists. They want to be free and away from everybody else's problems. But FDR, Franklin D. Roosevelt, he's trying to make the case that freedom means the supremacy of human rights everywhere. Our support goes to those who struggle to gain those rights or keep them. Our strength is our unity of purpose. To that high concept, there can be no end save victory. What FDR is saying there is that anywhere people are losing these four freedoms up here, anywhere that those freedoms are getting threatened, is a problem that the United States should help solve. If those freedoms are threatened other places, they are threatened in America as well. So for our purpose, we could say the purpose and main message of this document is to try and make the case that the U.S. should intervene in World War II and help their democratic allies fight back against the Germans. Now, I asked you, how is this significant to the United States involvement in World War II? Well, he makes this case, and remember, he makes this case about 11 months to the day before Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor is the thing that actually makes these words come to fruition. So we can say this speech laid the groundwork for the declaration of war that came after Pearl Harbor. Something like that. So the whole reason he gives this speech is to try and convince the American people and Congress that maybe we should get involved in World War II. Maybe we don't need to be these isolationists anymore.